Hello art friends, I'm Robin. I'm so excited because today we're going to finish our book. We have learned how to make a storyboard and create some really bright and useful papers. Now we need to write some text, work out what we'll do for a cover, and then look at options to present our book to the world. Are you ready? Great. Let's see what we need to finish our book. I've got the 4 pages that we've worked on, a piece of A4 for our cover, glue stick, scissors, got some food dye and brush, our oil pastels, a stapler, an assortment of the coloured paper we've been making, and some newspaper to work on. So first of all, let's pop everything else away. Let's move over there and let's see what we've got so far. So here are our 4 pages. You can see we have continuity because Barry has the same coloured face in each of these and the same patterns on his body right through. Now what we're going to do now is we want to make it a story. So you know what the story is about. Here's Barry, he's looking at a worm, he's chasing the worm, he almost catches the worm, then he realises the worm is the cat's tail. So we have to put some text boxes here. What we're going to do also is we're going to do what other children's storybooks do and maybe have some flaps so we could hide part of the worm under something. So let's get a bit of a bit of green here. And we're going to cut maybe a bush here for the worm just to sneak out. Now when I'm going to cut the bush, I need to glue it onto the back. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger than you might think. Okay. So our worm is going to be under this bush. I'm going to fold a little bit like this and then be able to glue it underneath. So I want a little bit to sneak out. So yeah. There we go. Turn it over. Pop a bit of glue and glue him down. There. I might pop a couple of little leaves on there. So there is our bush, and when we have a look underneath, there is the tail hiding. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I might leave that one and just put maybe a rock on this one. Let's find some paper that looks like a rock. Fold him down. And there he is. I might move him along a bit. That's better. I might use my pastel just to make some sort of rocky marks on my piece there. Now we'll need to work out what Barry's going to say, and I think something like, gosh, what's that? Or there he goes, and he was the worm, and then of course realising it's his friend. So we'll need to cut out some speech bubbles. First of all, we need to work out which way the pointy bit's going to go. So with my finger, I'm just going to work out, what it's going to look like. So we need to make sure that the arrow points to Barry's beak. There we go. That's probably a little bit big. I'll just trim that down a bit. That's probably a good size. So what is he going to say? Something like, is that a worm? I think that's probably a good thing. Now, one trick is please write your words on here before you stick it down, because if you make a mistake, you can start again. But once it's stuck down, sometimes it's a bit tricky to get it off. So I'm going to write down here, is that a worm? And the next one, we need one here. There it goes. So squash him down. Now this one here is almost found the worm. So we could just say, I found you. That's a good one to start with. So let's get that. And we'll glue that one down. And on our last one, I found you. On our last one, it's not a worm, it's his friend, and his friend's name's Barney. So let's find a piece of colour and we'll write that down. So here is our book. Is that a worm? And there he is. There it goes. I found you. That's not a worm, it's Barney. Oh, I love that story. That looks good. Now we need to work on the cover. Now we're going to work on the cover. There's two ways we can do that. We can use some of our paper and write our title on the top and then glue it on. Or if you've got a printer at your house, you might want to write the name down on the printer and then put some food dye over the top. So I'll show you both ways. So Barry Finds a Friend was the name of our book. So I'm going to write that. I'm going to I want to tear my paper. And that's going to be my heading. Another way to do your heading is just print off your words, just a little bit on your brush, and just swipe. I might just pop a tiny bit of blue on my brush. You don't want much because you don't want to hide. You don't want to hide the words. And then, okay. And I can let that dry and you can cut that out if you wanted to and use that as your heading. And now I'm going to put Barry on the front. Here is my cover. I've just put Barry in the middle and some clouds, some flowers, and of course our title. So let's put our book together. So first, here is the cover. Then that's the first page and the second page, third page, and the final page. So popping that together. I'm going to squash it down. I'm going to use my stapler to make sure it's nice and tight. Pressing quite hard. There it is. Now having a staple's probably a bit ugly, so I'm going to get a little bit of paper to make a spine. So I'll just cut a piece of green plenty of glue. And just trim off the edges. And there is our book. Now you might need to crease your book, each page, to make sure that it goes and folds over neatly. There we go. Congratulations, you've finished your book. There are different ways to present your book. You might want to take photos and put it online for your friends and family. You might even want to buy a digital book by sending your photos to a company and they'll send you a book back. Or you might want to just leave it like this. Laminate the pages. There are lots of different ways. I hope this is the start of a wonderful world of children's story illustration and bookmaking. You can also use your colourful paper to make birthday cards for your family or headings for school projects or just about anything really. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you look at the Art Friends website and find another wonderful class to do. Bye.